Everyone wants to live a full life with meaning, using their full potential, right? But what is a person who truly reaches this state of self-actualization like in practice? What makes them different? What if we could identify some signs or even superpowers that indicate we're on this path? We've already talked here about Abraham Maslow and his famous hierarchy of needs. He didn't just stop at describing what motivates us. He was truly fascinated by those people who seem to have reached the top of the pyramid, the level of self-actualization. He studied individuals he considered examples of psychological health, creativity, and fulfillment. People like Einstein, Eleanor Roosevelt, and others less famous but equally inspiring. And he discovered that these people, despite being unique, shared some very striking characteristics. 5 signs, or superpowers, of self-actualized people, according to Maslow. Let's look at 5 of these signs, or superpowers, Maslow identified. Do you recognize any of them in yourself or someone you admire? Superpower 1. Seeing reality as it is, without rose-colored or gray glasses. Self-actualized people have a superior ability to perceive reality more clearly and objectively. They can see things as they are, without many filters of their own fears, desires, anxieties, or cultural stereotypes. They are more comfortable with the unknown, ambiguity, and the uncertainty of life. How to cultivate it? Try questioning your own certainties from time to time. Listen to different opinions with an open mind. Accept that not everything has an easy answer. Superpower 2. Radical acceptance of yourself, others, and life. They demonstrate a deep acceptance of themselves, with all their qualities and flaws. They accept human nature in others without overly critical or moralistic judgment. And they accept nature and reality as they are, including the difficult parts like illness, aging, and death. This does not mean passive resignation, but a more honest and compassionate starting point. How to cultivate it? Practice self-compassion, forgive your own mistakes, and try to understand others' motivations before criticizing. Superpower 3. Spontaneity and simplicity. Authenticity without affectation. Self-actualized people tend to be more spontaneous, simple, and natural in their behavior. They don't feel the strong need to put on a show, wear rigid social masks, or blindly follow conventions. They act with more authenticity according to their own values and feelings, while usually respecting social boundaries. There is a lightness and naturalness to their way of being. How to cultivate it? Allow yourself to be a little more yourself in everyday small things. Express a sincere opinion, respectfully of course. Laugh at yourself. Do something you enjoy, even if it's different. Superpower 4. Focus on bigger problems, beyond one's own belly button. They are usually focused on problems or causes outside themselves. They have a sense of mission, a work they consider important, a vocation or ideal to which they dedicate themselves passionately. They don't just live to satisfy their own immediate needs, but feel part of something bigger, contributing to the well-being of others or the advancement of knowledge. How to cultivate it? Find a cause, project, or volunteer work that touches you deeply and makes you feel you are making a difference, no matter how small. Superpower 5. Autonomy and independence. The strength to be true to oneself. Self-actualized people demonstrate greater autonomy and independence from culture and environment. Their sources of satisfaction are more internal than external. They trust more in their own judgments, feelings, and experiences. They don't need constant approval from others to feel good or make decisions. They are more self-directed. How to cultivate it? Strengthen your inner compass. Learn to listen more to your intuition. Reflect on your own values and make decisions aligned with them, even if that means displeasing someone sometimes. It's important to remember what Maslow himself said. Self-actualization is not a perfect state that you reach and that's it, like a trophy on a shelf. It is a continuous growth process, a lifelong journey. And these characteristics are not a checklist for an exclusive superhuman club, but qualities and tendencies that all of us can aspire to and develop, each at our own pace and in our own way. Identifying these characteristics can give us a great compass for our personal development, to seek a life with more authenticity, purpose, and fulfillment. And you? How many of these signs or superpowers do you already recognize in your life or would like to cultivate more? Tell us in the comments which one inspired you the most or made you think. If you enjoyed this exploration of self-actualized people according to Maslow, leave your like. See you next time.